Oh, hey there folks, and what the fuck is this odd contraption here? Is that actual in-game sound here? Why no, it's actually a strange thing here because this was actually recorded back 8 days ago, and during which my room was going through a major renovation of sorts, so I had to use the laptop for a few days, even though thankfully I wasn't really a member of old school Runescape at that point. You know, I'd do my usual 2 weeks break, 2 weeks with Bond, all that good stuff. So why is there in-game sound playing? Well, it was interesting because the Lenovo laptop I have here doesn't actually have Hypercam 2 installed. I was actually a bit worried that it would come up with some sort of problems, specifically in regards to getting it to be compatible. However, it's not really been that much of a fuss outside of, well, make sure the default is Windows Media Player as opposed to whatever else it's trying to do, something more modern that doesn't make it work. Also, for those from just from the last video, yeah, this was actually what introduced me to this new cool clan called Reddit07, and you know, they're a pretty cool bunch, and I find this is actually, ironically, the most cool sort of clan chat that I've had in a long time, and you know, it's a shame seeing as you know, modern man, it's just a bit boring. You know, Zema's conked out. Yeah, by the way, yeah, that was the reason, you know, like 3 weeks ago, some guy, I think some cold dog and that, you know, yeah, he was a big rank guy who'd interviewed the Zema back in 2006, and pretty much he was getting paid off. And rather than Zema dealing with it like a man, or just somebody with a bit of integrity, you know, he just pretty much fucking closes the clan chat, sets it to ranked members only. So yeah, that's just pretty much this middle finger to the average plebeian, as I say. But I digress. So yeah, the other clan chats, you know, Mr. Mellon's unfortunately started to go a bit down as well. It's just, I don't know, doesn't feel right, and you know, boys, it's a bit better than Zema's, but not by much. You know, so also I'm unbanned from Moplox, but I'd say it's alright, but it's not great. But Red07, yeah, pretty cool clan chat for me. So pity I can't talk in it, but you know, at least listen to it's actually not a toxic fest. You know how old school RuneScape's got a thing for that. You know, but alas, enough of that. What am I actually doing here, really? Well, you can tell I'm at Castle Walls, and you can probably tell the vast majority of people are free to play gear, thus it is on a free to play world, as I was not a member at the time. So, why is it then I am actually, you know, operating? You know, I know it sounds strange, but what was the actual basis for coming here? Well, essentially, the subreddit for old school RuneScape held an event between these two clans, Reddit07 and 2007 Reddit. Basically, you know, sister and brother sort of clan, and since I kind of like the name Reddit07 a bit more, and you know, usually I go with Sarah anyway if I'm undecided, that's the one I went with then. As you can see here, pretty much everybody's duped out in, you know, sort of rune gear, green dragon hide, and a few maybe in wizard robes and that for, you know, binding and whatnot, but yeah, it's a different atmosphere compared to members. Like, you've seen it before, and how I've like went from being quite shit at to being half competent, but this gives me a new sort of perspective to try them on. And I mean, I was initially thinking I was going to be one of the best, like pretty much maybe out of 200 top 10. Not really. I mean, it was an event that was meant to introduce people to, also should probably get that out of the way. Yeah, it was an event. Oh, that doesn't let us go away. Nice. Let's see. No, you're getting to see that for the whole way. But oh no, that's it gone now. So yeah, essentially. Also, fuck. Yeah. I'll see you know that. Thank you very much. So, essentially, the event itself was promote like getting noobs involved in the mini games, and it sort of worked. I mean, there was maybe about 40% like really low levels, like people below 60, you know, about 10-15% that are like maybe not noobs, but like people who are sort of semi-experienced enough for free to play anyway. But then there was a large portion of people who are like clearly had no right being, you know, like free to play and all that. And I think, is that a bad thing? Maybe, maybe not. You know, I mean, I share my own thoughts on that. But yeah, essentially, I think this is the thing, isn't it? With Castle Wars, I don't know. I will say that I've kind of lost a bit of passion for it, especially since, and I mean, hardly anybody knows about fucking Castle. Even after this boost and that, them trying to promote it, it's still not used very much. So to them, it's like, well, why bother with Empty World? So you just go with the one that's got the main. And even then, it's not. I've tested it. It's not as busy as I would have figured, but I digress. So, getting into the combat itself, let's go ahead, shall we? Let's see. I need to right click. Why are you not working? Oh, you spastic. You spastic. Technical difficulties here, folks. It turns out you can't actually. Yeah, you cannot actually. Like, that was kinda good, but. Yeah, you can definitely tell this is my laptop. If you can't even tell from the bottom of it anyway, this is definitely... Oh boy, are we experiencing a technical difficulty? And I've not stopped to record this yet. I hope this won't cause... Like, I'm kind of running on a bit of a strict time frame here, so I'm a bit worried that I won't be able to show everything off. But alas, I will stick with this and see what comes of it, as long as it's... Yeah, it's actually funny because... Oh, wonderful! Yeah, your fucking, like, film didn't come up, and now he didn't want to load it, despite the fact you are recording it. Oh, man. Alright, let's hurry up speed for this, so... Alright. Let's see, get back to 7... Alright, we'll go from here, and yep, fast forward. So, alright. Essentially... The deal with, how shall we say it, getting into Castle Wars, well, what makes it different, you know, in the sense that it's free to play? What is, like, there's an established mechanic where, obviously, melee's the cheap sort of, you know, like, the bulk of the army sort of thing, you know, it's varying ranges, you know, you go from the usual shit rune players, you know, like barely shouldn't even be into it, to like the real tough, you know, bandos or justiciar folks who can, you know, they can tank a good bit of damage. Then you get the majors, those who are willing to pay up a good bit of money for ice barraging and blood barraging, you know, to really stop the masses from getting in. You know, and they're an important asset. Even a few of them could really hold back a lot of people. And I bet it costs a lot of money. Not everybody's wanting to do that. And then you get the Rangers, who can also be quite strong in the way, not so much against the bulk army itself, but the Majors, who, you know, can be, like, really sort of... Also, I just realised, you spastic, get that shit zoomed in. There we go. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Also, you slow down, you twat. Oh, wow, it's even ignoring my commands for... There we go. Alright, so... At least now it's not shitting itself, and I'll zoom that in. There we go. Perfecto. So now you get to see the Castle Wars action displayed in here, and it's certainly quite the spectacle to behold. And now, like, my god. Oh, wow, is this something else? Yeah, in case you're wondering, and I've also noticed this as well, and that there is a bit of, how should we say it? It seems like it's lagging. That lag is actually not part of the game itself. That wasn't actually that new. In fact, not even laggy at all. This is actually an unusual form of lag on my laptop, and I don't know why that is, because it wasn't acting like this the last time I recorded this on the 14th of November, but hey ho. I lost that opportunity when my camera decided to cut about 2/3 to that video, and I had to redo it, which was nice. So I guess this is, we get to experience what it's like if you have a laggy computer and that, you know, fast forward, even though it's not really lagging at that actual recording. But I digress. But yeah, you can see here, as far as the action is concerned, definitely it's, my strategy was mainly just to go after, like, not just weak people, but those who weren't using protection prayers, or better yet, the wrong protection, so they were trying to defense against somebody else. And oh, was that fun? Yes, very much so. You know, I quite liked demolishing people and just wrecking a bit of chaos, you know? Like, actually being able to do some serious damage. You know? I'm pretty sure, actually, in this first half, because I did 2 waves and that, it got like some 14 kills. Pretty good. I think that'd actually be a record, seeing as, you know, normally when it comes to Castle Wars, like, I start off sort of cheapish ammo and, you know, weapons. Like, not really good, but then slowly work towards getting that elite sort of status. You know? Which, that's what I'm thinking there, you know, it's... Also, this salty guy. Oh, very salty indeed. Oh, thanks. Yeah, he was not very pleased to be getting killed. So, yeah, I would say definitely, as far as Castle Wars is concerned, this was a bit more fun than usual, and I'm actually half wondering, well, if they've done oh, of course, spoiled it there. Yeah, if they've done Castle Wars already, what would they do free-to-play? Clan Wars. That actually, I would actually love that. If not because, oh, it's going to be a big event, you know, where again I could demolish people, it's at least, hey, I had to get a try out Clan Wars. I've never tried it out before once. Because it just seems to be like, almost nobody's even trying it. And it's a bit of a pay, truth be told, because it's like, I kind of want to give it a go, but it's just, it was even deader than, you know, fucking Gielinor and that back in, you know, the free-to-play days. It was just, no, impossible. And of course Castle Wars didn't exist back then, so I couldn't exactly record that, but I don't know if that would be even as active in that, you know, but hopefully if they do something similar for the, hopefully if they do something similar for, you know, Clan Wars and that in the future, that would be really, really nice, you know. And I think just generally speaking, you know, it'd be something cool in that just to actually, I don't know, just experience something different, you know, but I digress. But yeah, all in all, pretty good event, and I suppose we shall get to the news. And just click on here to keep it up. Alright, so, further RuneScape videos. In fact, actually, before I go ahead, you might actually see a bit of glimmer, and you see that? Hey, hello, I'm back here in the background, and not doing my usual shazam and all, and this. But yeah, so here is a fun one. Yeah, do you remember a bloke called Mod Infinity? And yeah, he was kind of a controversial figure and a bit of a piece of work, or that's a nasty piece of work if you ask me. Yeah, essentially he was the guy who was responsible for, I believe, forging, you know, core documents to take down a rival fan site, because he owned his own sort of RuneScape fan site, one of the sort of official ones, and yeah, he had a bit of a nasty way of going about things. But not just that, but he's not very trustworthy. I mean, you could argue in the sense of what, say, Reach and maybe even Jed did. Well, I would say less so Jed, but definitely Reach wasn't really illegal so much as, yeah, it was just pretty much gross misuse, but you know, like, you're not going to get in jail for that. Mod Infinity, nah, it's, yeah, that's borderline, if not straight up illegal. What I did also, that score went whizzing by. You'll probably know it for yourself if you pause at the right frame, but yeah, quadruple speed, and yeah, you get to see the masses of Saradomin warriors, and now we go on the second wave, which we unfortunately lose just by one flag, but it's a good game nonetheless, as you'll see it unfold before you. And that's the event was meant to start at 9 PM, but I think we started about 5-10 minutes earlier, and but there you go. So yeah, pretty much glad that Mod Infinity had announced him leaving as of the late May, and he was leaving in just a couple of months. Hurry! I can't, like, that was one of the scumbags, and I didn't really like. I was glad he was going to be gone by the time I returned to RuneScape. I was like, huzzah! But yes, other than that, oh, here is a really sore kicker. Yeah, this will. I mean, this is not just a big one in general, but it's actually quite ironic when, with the latest sort of, shall we say, session that I did with a, was it Kinshra slave, I believe. You know, some RuneScape 3 regular and that. You know, yeah. Essentially, to put it bluntly, on the 25th of May, RuneScape Classic was announced to be closed for good. No, sorry, no. I think I've got the date wrong. 24th, but it was the day before I did that last session, and yeah, essentially the glorious RuneScape Classic that I only ever got to play for 3 days, and I was meaning to always go back to it, but I just never did, and that, you know, never did manage to actually, you know, like just give it a good go, you know, spend a good 2-3 weeks actually making progress in it, and it's just, I don't know, I felt a bit ashamed in some ways, like, you know, I gave it a shot right enough, and I did some progress, but it's just, I never felt motivated to go back, and that, you know, like when you kind of want to do something, you just don't feel motivated enough. That's always a bitch, isn't it, you know? Yeah, so, essentially, the reason why I mentioned Kinshra Slave, and you know, amongst many other people back then, you know, was the whole thing that as I was starting to get back into that sort of stuff again, you know, it was the whole thing of, I don't know, just the fact that when we started off, say, she said something along the, well, you know, you need to know that, you need to, what was it, know or respect that, you know, I play, you know, RuneScape 3, you know, old school RuneScape and RuneScape Classic, you know, and I was like, a bit of an equalist, you know, trying a bit of everything, you know, I can respect that. And then the next fucking day, RuneScape classes announced to be closed. You know, like, well, you're kind of, one third of your game's getting cut price soon, you know, bye bye. And it was, and you know the thing about it is that they say, oh, it's got 3 months before it's closed. Nope, not even that. I think barely 2.5 months, if at that. So essentially, they were kind of pulling a bit, you know, how shall we say it, pulling a bit of strings a bit too much on that for their own good, but I digress. Alright, what's up here? Oh, this will be a good one to finish up on. Yeah. So, at the beginning of June and that, we got the release of the Theatre of Blood Raid, and oh, that was quite the spectacle. Maybe not as hard as the, the Inferno Caves with Tizkalzuk and that, but it was still quite tough. You know, like, not something that's going to be a walk in the park. And because at the start it was actually group content, meaning you had to do it. It wasn't like with Great Own where you could either, you know, probably maybe not so hard time, but still fairly challenging one with a group, you know, a large one, or you could solo yourself and you would be like, it would be very difficult. Like, I'm talking about probably maybe harder than the Corporal Beast. And pretty much this one you can't. Well, there has been an update in the past, I think called months, that's enabled you to do that now, but I'm still not quite near the content yet. Eventually I will. Eventually. And you know, that stuff will probably wait till maybe 122, 123, you know. Getting that all sorted out, and won't that be a fun ride? But yes, so that was that, and obviously I can't really say too much because I'll just be sorry. I wouldn't even really have much of a view on it. However, what I can certainly say I had a view on was the classic and, well, notorious E-friend Dovidus Makis and that. Advertising gambling, yes. I believe I may have spoken of this before, but this is when he went full on. Like, I think before, it's strange because I have 3, the first one was in February, I think he only just did a little bit of an advertisement. This one must have been a bigger one because this is when it really started hitting people that, yeah, he's kind of went down the way of kind of being a seller. Like, I wouldn't say full on, but yeah, he was going about things the wrong way, and it was just, oh, it was painful to see some of the, I wouldn't want to say fans so much as fanatics of his community just sort of blindly ignore the sort of misery that, you know, the direction that his friend was putting with his channel. It was going down a sort of spiral of negative content, you know, just quality was going down, and just, yeah, the integrity was going down the shitter. But yes, let's see here. Just a bit more. Yeah, so essentially, this is where I think it started off. Wasn't the one that dealt the final blow, but it's what kicked it off. And, yeah. Also, no! Oh, God. Technical error number two. So, anyway. Alright, I guess I'll just sort of conclude on here. And, with, yes, a friend, I don't know, as I say, he got what was coming to the end, and I was glad of that, as did other people. And you know, two guys, you know, as well as like other people, yeah, there was more. There was more who was surprised that, you know, I finally got a nice sort of sweet ending to. And you know, so yeah, I'm glad that by the end of it, you know, the whole year, much of that feeling of revenge was gone, because I felt like I'd already been avenged in many ways. Like, they had suffered something, and whether it be a ban, a mute, or just distance themselves from the game, you know, that no longer interests. Like, I had finally won in the end, you know. But yeah, it's good being back now, you know. Certainly, I think I could put it all in the past and just kind of move on as if it wasn't a really big deal, but alas, that is so. Without further ado, this will be signing off, and I'll be getting back to starting my bond, and that, so excuse me, I'll just be doing just that. Till then, folks.